Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for Love from Lizi October card kit. And this is 10 cards, 1 kit, and I also made a bonus card. So we're off to the first card. In the kit there was 2 size bandage wraps. I used the smaller one or the more narrow one, and then the larger one I cut 2 strips out of. I then took some tea dye distressed ink and gave it a little bit of a squish along the side of the baggie. I added just a few squirts of water, and then I took the strips of bandage and I coated them in it. I set them to dry, and in the meantime I cut a small piece of vanilla cardstock, and then I took the bandages, I secured them around the back, and then wrapped them top and bottom, leaving enough room for the medium size googly eyes that also came in the kit. I wanted it to look kind of sickly, so I took the warm gray Copic marker in W3 and W1, and finally the blender to blend it out so that that will fade, but it looks like is not all that well. I rounded the corners off of the layer and the mat, and then I applied those with liquid adhesive. I used a Nina piece of paper with this one because I thought it would bring out the color of the tea dye in the bandage, and that was from my stash. I used some foam tape along the back of the mat, and then I secured it to a top folding portrait card base. I also used a sticker from the sticker sheet that said Boo, and that's card 1. On to card 2. I took some watercolor paper. I applied, I reused a mask just around one antique linen around it, and then I proceeded to blend a night sky with distress inks using lilac, concord, wilted violet, blueprint sketch, and then finally black soot. I also have a video on that on my website if you need help with that at all. And here's the big reveal when you remove the mask. I had hoped to have a glow around the moon, and I think I achieved that somewhat. I then took some fossilized amber and gave a light brush around the moon. And I also took a liner brush and rolled that across the moon so that it would be a little more random. I stamped a bat with a stamp I had in my stash with some black ink. I took a sticker off the sticker sheet and I applied that, as well as a chipboard sticker of the witch. Once that was dry, because it had a lot of ink on it, I gave it a lot of liquid adhesive and I applied that to a side fold landscape card. Some black and white baker's twine, which was also in the kit. And there we have the card finished. Card 3. I took the negative space off from the masking paper and I applied some masking fluid. I just wanted a circle, so I had cut a circle out of it. I'm using a B99 marker, Copic marker, and I laid the ink down one way, and now I'm going the opposite way on the paper. It doesn't have to have a very good coating, but it needs to be blue. And then I took an adhesive eraser and removed all of that. And I went around the outside of it just to sharpen it up a little bit. Back to the antique linen, and we're going to give that moon a little bit of color. And then I took a larger bat stamp and applied that with some India ink. This is an N10 Copic marker. And I'm just drawing some trees and branches, making sure that I cross the branches over. And then after I finish with that, I use the 100 black marker. Making sure that I have little branches coming off. It's easy to run your marker the wider tip and just kind of roll it in your hand as you're making the branches and the tree trunks. I cut out some trees, a stand of trees, and then I just applied some liquid adhesive, attached those to the bottom of that mat. I took the owl that was in the Vellum tags, and I applied the liquid glue all over that. Spread it with nature's spreader, my finger. And then I had a branch that I cut out of black cardstock and attached that as well with liquid adhesive. I trimmed off the excess off the bottom and the side. And it looks as though the owl is perched on that branch. I took some picket fence, distressed ink, and put a little bit of light on one side of the trees. A Spectrum Noir crystal overlay pen gave a little bit of love to the owl. And there we have it. And now we're on to card number 4. This sheet of paper was out of the pattern paper pack, and I gave that a trim. I used some of the webbing. It was also in the embellishment bag, as well as this spider. I took a tag off the sheet of tags and I cut it down, fussy cut it, and then I attached it to a piece of black cardstock. The ribbon was in the embellishment bag as well, and then I used some double-sided tape from Lizi's shop, and I applied the tag to the ribbon. The Halloween sticker came off of the sticker sheet. I applied lots of liquid adhesive. I placed the sticker and the ribbon at the top of the card to hold the webbing in place. And that card is done. Now we're on to card number 5. I stamped a skull from the stamp set, Lizi's own stamp set, and I cut a window. That's a lawn fawn window. I placed that over vellum that was left. I glued that onto the window frame, and then I applied adhesive to the back of the vellum. And I laid that over a piece of pattern paper from the pad of paper that was in the kit as well. Put some liquid glue on the back of the skull that I fussy cut, and I attached that to the vellum inside of the window. The bat is a sticker, as is the trick or treat. That was applied to a black top fold card base. And now it wouldn't be Halloween without a shaker card. I put a double, well, first I attached the acetate to the hole that I cut with the die and an MFT die, and then 2 layers of foam tape. I put in lots of the sequins, and I also like to attach some to the back of the card that's behind the window. This beautiful chanteuse paper was in the kit. And then I attached that to the front of the cardstock top fold portrait card. I used a sticker as well as the rest of the ribbon. And that was pattern paper as well, that was in the kit. I cut a couple spider webs, and I went as a graphite shimmer paper, and I'm attaching those to a piece of white cardstock. It's a panel. The spider web chipboard, as well as this ink sticker, were also part of the kit. I get into the webbing and the spiders again. And this time I attached them with glue at the top of the card so that they could hang. I also used a piece of fishing twine to secure the spider. I applied a border sticker that was in the sheet of stickers to the outside as well as the inside. And that finishes the card. Card number 8. I took the vellum tag that was part of the kit too, and I cut one of them up. I put on top of the chanteuse shimmer paper. I applied liquid glue to the back of the shimmer paper and attached that to a black top fold square card base. I used the stickers. The boo is from the chipboard stickers, as is the skull. On to card 9. This was also from the vellum sheet, and I had to trim it down to fit in a 2 size card. I applied double-sided adhesive tape along the back, the complete back, making sure that there wasn't any folds or bubbles. 2 stickers were applied to the front. One was a cardstock sticker, and the other was a chipboard sticker, the haunted house. I cut 2 gates that were a spellbinder die from my stash and applied that to a piece of yellow cardstock, which was from the kit. This is another piece of pattern paper from the kit, which is really nice pattern paper. This is looks like a library wall. So I cut that to size as my mat, and that owl is a chipboard sticker. The creepy underneath it is a cardstock sticker, and I applied that to Anina Desert Storm card base, top fold portrait, and a little bat from a die. And that was out of the graphite paper, graphite shimmer paper. And on to card 11. I did some more blending with distress ink using the same colors as before: lilac, concord, wilted, blueprint sketch, and black soot. Making sure that I did it to all the sides of the card, as you'll see, with the exception of the back front, but the other 3 sides were done. And this one I wanted to put Milky Way and stars, so I used picket fence. I watered it down, and then the Spectrum Noir crystal overlay pen. This particular card, you need to make sure that you have your score marks nicely burnished, and then you apply tape just to the back side of it. And this took a long time to dry. And once I get the adhesive, double-sided tape on there, I give it a good burnish, and then I attach the front to the back. The little headstones were in the embellishment bag. I removed the backing, I cut off the backing and I attached those on double strips of acetate. It was secured with liquid glue, and then I used a wobble. And this came off this sheet that had the insects that you could make tags or whatever your heart desired. I applied the smallest googly eyes. And then I used the spiders from the sequin pack. The sequin pack also had some nice shiny stars and gold and yellow and more of a transparent, and I applied those where I had just laid the crystal effects. I took a spooky sticker off the sheets of stickers. I have to get them just where I want them. And the Nouveau Midnight Glitter Crystal Drops were also in the kit. That's the great thing about the kit. They always have a full-size Nouveau drops. Thank you so much for watching. And here's a run-through of the cards that were in the video. Have a look at Lizi's site, lovefromlizi.com, and thank you again for joining me for this 10 cards, 1 kit video from the October 2017 card kit. Bye-bye.